time do we go on? Oh. On the way into the studio, I drove Mr. Astaire down, and we walked in. The sole of my shoe started to flop around and flap around, and it was surgically removed. But this is a memento. I'm going to send this to Adlai Stevenson for him when he runs in 1960, and he needs all the help he can get. I hate to evoke sentimentality, but actually I like nothing better. But a wonderful friend and a great man, a friend of Mr. Astaire's, June, and my own, is going to celebrate, I think, as the songwriter says, he's going to hit 70th Street. You know who I'm talking about. Take it.
Irving?
Yeah.
Irving, Berlin. Yes, his birthday is on the 9th, isn't it?
Of May.
Of May, yeah.
He's going to hit 70th Street and Broadway.
Yeah.
And you're hitting, what?
I'm hitting Herald Square.
No, Herald Square.
On the 10th. The day following.
It's Astaire's birthday.
No, I'm lying a little bit. We get up around Columbus Circle. That's it.
Wow.
That's it, right on the nose, isn't it?
It is. A bit of 59th Street. That's quite
I may have to
circle.
explain that to a few people who don't live in New York.
Well,
what street is it?
The songwriters in Liberty.
59th Street.
Yeah, when you're 59 years old, you're on 59th Street. And Mr. Berlin will be on 70th Street. And another birthday is May 6th. Tchaikovsky. My mother made me crazy with her love for Tchaikovsky. And fortunately, no, all right, that's enough about Tchaikovsky. June and Fred, on account of Mr. Berlin, I'm going to ask Fred to do a song. I don't think it was a big hit. It changed partners and dance, was it?
Well, I think it was played a lot. It was always a favorite of mine. I think it's a marvelous lyric.
You like it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole tune and everything about it I like very much.
What picture was it?
Oh, dear.
Carefree.
Here we go. Carefree, that's right.
June, just before we go in, the Berlins are very good friends of ours. Just talk about Mr. and Mrs. Berlin a little.
Well, Oscar had known the Berlins for many years, and when we got married, they were terribly sweet to me. And Ellen...
Unlike me.
Well, no, but going to New York to live, and Ellen Berlin is really a wonderful woman. She's very intelligent and writes extremely well, and I had enormous admiration and respect for her. And she used to give me lots of advice, which I took because it was very good. And they had 3 daughters, and...
Still have, I'm glad to say.
That's right. And she did say, I remember when we first married, she said to me, now, June, she said, Irving and Oscar should only have daughters. After all, they're not mechanical-minded, and they don't like to make little airplanes and kick footballs around, and it's very good for them to have daughters. And so I took advice, and we had 3 daughters. And as a matter of fact, Irving was tried to be helpful, too, because he'd always suggest names for the girls when they were born, and it always seemed to be the names of his own daughters that he'd suggest. And it was sort of a coincidence that our oldest daughter, their daughters are named Mary Ellen, Linda, and Elizabeth. And by coincidence, really, our oldest daughter is named Marcia, and our middle daughter is named Lorna. But by the time we had the 3rd one, I was wildly independent, and I named her Amanda, which had nothing to do with...
Actually, June wanted to name all 3 Amanda, and I wasn't in favor of the name, and I said before Amanda, who's a wonderful little girl, before she was born, I said, even if it's a boy, you can call him Amanda. I was so proud.
Yes, but the doctor said to me, when I got a girl, he said, well, you didn't get the boy, but you got Amanda.
Amanda's worth...
That's great.
My daughters, I wouldn't trade for all the boys, although they would, but... Well, I mean, they should like boys. I don't happen to, let's do, There I go again, the trumpets blow.
Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate man? Can't you see you've danced him? No, once more, start. Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate man? You have danced with him since the music began. Won't you change partners and dance with me? Must you dance quite close with your lips touching his face? Well, can't you see I'm longing to be in his place? Won't you change partners and dance with me? Ask him to sit this one out, and while you're alone, I'll tell the waiter to tell him he's wanted on the telephone. You've been locked in his arms ever since heaven knows when. Won't you change partners, and then you may never want to change partners again.
No trouble with that one. You can't remember these words. Thank you.
The most important moment of tonight, a station break. They seem to think this is momentous. However, such memories to me and you of you that I am unable to speak, which is the greatest public service anybody's ever done. Now I'm going to ask you something, and I'm going to break my promise. You said you wouldn't dance, you wanted to relax. Is that true?
Well, it isn't I want to relax. There just isn't any place to dance, Oscar. You know, I mean, I'd do anything for you, but I swear, you know, old Dad here, whenever a dance routine comes up, he begins to fume and fret and worry, and I just don't want to look too bad. I'd do anything for you but dance tonight, you know.
Well, I'm going to press on because at this moment, what's the use of kidding? The whole world is waiting for this moment for you to dance, and the whole world, as far as this station is concerned, goes as far as Bakersfield. Do you know that we're going to be recognized as the 49th state someday? Anyway, please dance, and I'm going on my broken torn ligament knees to beg you.
I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, Oscar, for you. Well, really, I mean, you know, this was a lyric about a girl, or I sang it to a little girl named Ginger, and I better start over again. And
you know, I was in a picture with you and Ginger, as I mentioned before, Barclays.
Yeah.
And you know, during that picture, the music...
Barclays?
Barclays on Broadway.
The Barclays of Broadway.
You're the first man who ever dared correct me in public.
I had a hard time getting it out, too.
But at any rate, if you remember, Ginger had this maternal compulsion, which I've never had since, where she brushes the cigarette ashes and the dandruff, the only relic of middle age I have, and other things that seem to accumulate on my clothes. And it annoyed me, and I once pushed her arm away. Did she ever do that to you?
What? You mean brush? Oh, yeah, I always had a lot of dandruff, you know, and she
You long for those dandruff days.
I don't brush you off. I run the vacuum cleaner over you.
While we're on the subject of you and Ginger, may I stand, Mr. Flanagan, head of Channel 13? I want to relax. You know, the series of pictures you did with Ginger at Akio really have become a historical series. As a matter of fact, they're playing every museum in the world right now.
Great.
And I would be very curious to know your opinion of your favorite picture, that wonderful series.
Well, my favorite, I'm hard to figure out favorites, you know. Each one that we did, I always thought might have been the best one. I didn't know, but looking back on it, I think maybe I like Top Hat the best. It might be the favorite of
By Irving Berlin.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My favorite was Irene and Vernon Castle, the story of.
Well, I must say I like that one, too. That was a more serious story than anything we did.
What was your favorite, June?
My favorite? Well, actually, I love all the Astaire pictures, but I think I'm slightly prejudiced. I preferred the Barclays of Broadway because you were in it.